thank you, Neil, for your introduction and for really keeping us all informed about the Colorado business climate and community that's out there. It's through the creation of the web-wearing biomedical research program, the Boettcher Foundation, our board, our staff has gained such a greater understanding of the importance of biomedical and bioscience field in Colorado, and we're truly excited to play a part in that as Colorado grows, and Colorado grows really through bioscience. You know, we've been around 75 years next year, and I don't think in 1937 when we started, maybe bioscience was a term that was talked about too much. But our board has made investments, this foundation has, for that 75 years in Colorado, always trying to have an eye towards where's the thing that's leading Colorado to its next goal, to its next generation. And bioscience is that area, and we're proud to be a part of that and proud to be a part of this evening. We appreciate the opportunity tonight to introduce our second class of Boettcher investigators. But before I do that, I'd like to briefly share with you how that program came into existence. Many of you, I assume, are familiar with the Web-Wearing Institute. They contributed to the advancement of biomedical research in Colorado for over 80 years. In 2008, the Web-Wearing Institute became a more integral part of the University of Colorado and is now known as the Web-Wearing Center. At the same time, the Web-Wearing Foundation, different from the Institute, but in support of the Institute, gave their assets to the Boettcher Foundation. The foundation agreed to match the gift, creating a $40 million fund at the foundation that is dedicated to the support of biomedical research in Colorado. After a careful and thoughtful review, the foundation created the Web-Wearing Biomedical Research Program. The goal of the program is to support the work of Colorado's most promising early career investigators, helping them transition to their goal of independent research. The Boettcher Foundation had several goals in mind when we established the Web-Wearing program. First and foremost, we wanted to honor the Web and Wearing families and their donor intent and stay true to their desire of investing in research that makes a difference for folks in health. Secondly, we really wanted to support Colorado in keeping early career scientists working at our Colorado institutions. Third, we really believe, and we do this very much, that a great amount of this research is actually going to lead to discoveries that will improve human health. And finally, we're anticipating that some of the research will foster the growth of new biomedical companies in Colorado. And I will tell you today that we have made Boettcher scholarships. Many of you have heard of those since 1952. And I believe that 50 years from today, when the then trustees of the foundation look back, they're going to see two pillars of that foundation. One, those investments in scholarships, and two, these investments that we're making today in early career sciences. It's a very competitive process. We've had over 170 researchers apply who were eligible to receive the grant, meaning they met our criteria, 170 of them. To date, 11 have been chosen to receive multi-year support with their research. This year, 5 new scientists were selected, and it will be my pleasure to introduce them to you tonight. Before doing that, I'd like to recognize 2 of our trustees that are here tonight. Dr. Larry Allen is here, and Chairman of the Board, Ted White. Ted, would you come forward and help me and present be presenting each of the winners with their microscope award. In addition, I do want to introduce some of the staff of the Boettcher Foundation. Katie Kramer, Vice President of the Foundation, is at the table over here. Julie LaRudis, who is our Director of Grants, and by having that role, has the responsibility of administering the Web-Wearing program. And Julie's been doing all the work here for us. Julie's standing right here in the middle. And Leslie Baldwin, who works with Julie as our grants coordinator and has done a tremendous amount of the behind-the-scenes work. So it's now my pleasure to begin to introduce the class, and I would ask that the researchers come forward as I read their name, and come up here, Paul. Ted will give them their award, and then they will cycle off and we'll introduce the next one. So the first one is Z Chen. Z is an assistant research professor at the Department of Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology, University of Colorado Boulder. Dr. Chen is investigating auxin guidance during neural development. Congratulations. Robert Doble is our next scientist, our next researcher. And while Robert is coming, all right, oh, there we go, right here. All right. Robert's assistant professor in the Department of Medicine, Division of Medical Oncology at the University of Colorado and Schultz Medical Campus. Dr. Doble is investigating resistance mechanisms in oncogene-driven lung cancer. Congratulations. Nick Fisk is assistant professor of Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering and Department of Chemistry at Colorado State University. Dr. Fisk is investigating bacteriophage, biomedical devices, and engineering. Jin Wang is assistant professor in the Integrated Department of Immunology at the University of Colorado School of Medicine and National Jewish Health. Dr. Wang is investigating antibody production and genomic instability in B lymphocytes. And finally, Ting Ting Yao is assistant professor of Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology at Colorado State University. Dr. Yao is investigating ubiquitin-dependent signaling. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to introduce these folks. These investigators represent the fundamental values of the Boettcher Foundation: excellence, personal achievement, and outstanding scholarship. They truly are investments in the future of Colorado. The Boettcher Foundation's Web-Learning Biomedical Program is proud to sponsor the Colorado Bioscience Association and truly appreciate the opportunity to introduce our investigators to the bioscience community. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the evening.